As a leader, as an innovator, what if I told you the single biggest obstacle to your success isn't your competition or the market, but something happening right inside your own head? That's exactly what we're digging into today. How to harness the power of presence to really elevate your game.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to ask who's really in the driver's seat of our thoughts. Then we'll look at how our whole idea of time might be the real source of our stress. After that, we'll unlock the power of the present moment, and I'll give you some super simple ways to practice this stuff today. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with some real actionable takeaways.
All right, first up, is your mind in control? Let's talk about that invisible barrier that holds so many of us back without us even knowing it. So let me ask you a question, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. Are you actually in charge of your thoughts, or are they running this show? I mean, think about it. Your last big presentation, a tough negotiation, were you 100% there, or was a part of your mind busy replaying some past mistake or worrying about what could go wrong?
For a lot of us, the reality is just this constant mental noise. It's like having a nonstop commentator in your head, second-guessing everything. And this isn't just some minor distraction. This compulsive thinking literally drains your energy, it clouds your judgment, and it can totally sabotage your ability to lead and innovate. So where does all this noise even come from? Well, let's move on to our next section because this is where it gets really interesting. The illusion of time. We're about to pull back the curtain on the root cause of so much of our stress and anxiety.
See, to get this, you have to understand that we operate on two completely different clocks. On one hand, you've got clock time. This is our friend in the business world, right? It's how we set appointments, manage projects, meet deadlines. It's a tool. But then there's psychological time. And this is where we get into trouble. This is that mental trap of regretting the past and fearing the future. This is where almost all of our stress is actually born.
So what keeps us stuck in that psychological time? Well, a big part of it is something called the ego. And no, I'm not talking about being arrogant. In this context, the ego is that voice in your head that just loves a good drama. It feeds on past problems and future worries. It's the part of you that's constantly whispering, hey, remember that time you failed? What if it happens again? It's the narrator of your own personal stress story.
And the ego, well, it often has a partner in crime, the pain body. Just think of this as a buildup of all your old emotional baggage. It just sits there, dormant, but when something triggers it, boom, it takes over and craves more negativity. You ever had one critical comment in a meeting just completely throw you off for the rest of the day? Yep, that's the pain body getting a little snap.
Okay, so we've identified the problem, a mind that's trapped in psychological time, hijacked by the ego and the pain body. Sounds a bit grim, right? But here's the good news. There's a powerful and actually surprisingly simple antidote. Let's get into the solution, discovering the present moment. This is the absolute core of it all. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Think about it. You can't change last quarter's numbers, and you can't act on next year's strategy today. The only place you have any real power to make a decision, to solve a problem, to create something new is right now.
And let's be really clear about something. Being present doesn't mean you just forget your goals and wander around aimlessly. It's the total opposite. True presence is the secret to actually achieving your goals. It's about giving your complete, undivided attention to whatever is right in front of you. That's where your best work, your breakthrough ideas, that's where they live. Okay, this next idea, this is a total game changer. You are not the voice in your head. You are the one who hears the voice. You're the watcher, the silent awareness that's behind all of your thoughts. The moment you realize this and you learn to step back and just observe your mind, that's when you tap into a much deeper level of calm and intelligence. So this all sounds good in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? Let's get practical. Here are some simple ways you can start accessing this power right now, today. Here are 3 simple steps. First, just observe your mind. Start listening to that inner monologue, but without judging it. Just notice the things it likes to say over and over again. Second, focus on your senses. This is a great shortcut to the present moment. Right now, can you just feel the energy in your hands or your feet on the floor? That simple act pulls you out of your head and into your body. And third, accept this moment. Now, this doesn't mean you have to like it. If you just lost a big client, you don't pretend to be happy. Acceptance just means you stop fighting reality in your head. You stop arguing with what is. And that's where you find the peace and the clarity to take effective action. All right, let's bring this all home.
Let's focus on what this all means for you and your performance. This is your takeaway for action, turning this internal shift into real-world results.
So let's recap the big ideas. First, your mind is a fantastic tool, but you can't let it be the boss. Second, most of your stress doesn't come from what's happening, but from your mind being stuck in the past or the future. Third, all of your real power to create, to lead, to solve problems, it only exists right here in the now. And finally, the way to access that power is to practice watching your thoughts.
Because ultimately, for any leader, for any innovator, it all comes down to this. The clarity you find in the present moment is the fuel for the powerful, intelligent actions that will create the future you want. Taking control of your presence is that foundational first step. And if you're ready to apply that newfound clarity and focus to grow your business and find more clients, we invite you to book a free strategy call with CT Marketing. You can find the link right below.